Hey, what's up guys? Shake Somebody here. It's another show and I'm excited. You know why? Because we got a special guest. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
So when I say Jomo Cosmos, when I say Kaizer Chiefs, when I say Super Sport United, when I say Highlands Park and TS Galaxy, there's only one player I'm talking about. Reneilwe Letsholonyane is in the building. Yes, the former Bafana midfielder is here. And I asked him, Jomo Sono, Patrick Maswangane, where do you stand on it?
Hey, what's up, guys? We have another guest on the show, man. And when I say Jomo Cosmos, when I say Kaizer Chiefs, when I say Super Sport United, Highlands Park, TS Galaxy, the works, I'm talking about a legend here. I'm talking about Reneilwe Letsholonyane. How are you, sir?
I'm good. And how are you, sir?
Nah, man, I'm all right, man. It's a pleasure to have you. I've always wondered what you've had so many nicknames throughout your career. Is it your favorite one, or is it Beyonce?
Yeah, he's my favorite one. He is my favorite one.
No, man, that's good. I'm glad that you're now into coaching now. Tell me something. Has coaching always been the calling for you in terms of where you're gonna go into?
Yeah, most definitely. Coaching has always been what I wanted to do since I started obviously turning professional. And while I was playing, I realized, Jorge, I love the space. I'm passionate about the space. And post my retirement, I also want to be still involved in football and more on the field, not just being manager or any guy. Just want to be on the field. And yeah, that's my passion.
Now tell me, I mean, you say on the field is what has been your passion. This is what you wanted to do. I mean, where do you want to take it to? Do we one day see Yeye coaching in the Betway Premiership?
Most definitely, that's my aim, that's my dream, to one day coach one of the teams in the Betway Premiership. But obviously for now, I'm taking it easy, trying to learn as much as possible for when that opportunity comes, and I must be ready.
No, 100%. I actually really like that. There was something that you mentioned, man, because I wanted to talk about this topic. It's what's been a topic that's been happening. They asked in terms of Jomo Sono, in terms of Patrick Maswangane, his game, how he's playing, the Orlando Pirates playmaker, and he spoke about the fact that he was standing on the ball at some point, and then he was running towards his goal, and then he switched off the TV. I mean, or he switched to the Premier League. And you've been strong on sort of this type of playoff because showboating has been sort of a topic that's been happening. I mean, one of the quotes that you said, I have it here, and you said, for me, I asked the question to say, when you have decided you want to play the game at the highest level, you must choose the type of football that you're playing. That's what you said. So I wanted to know, when you look at Patrick Maswangane and his game, is that showboating or not for you?
I always say this conversation is a very sensitive one, because of different opinions. But this is my opinion, right? And yeah, I heard Upra J say something about it as well. But for me is using your skill for the betterment of the team going forward, trying to get a result for the team. For me, I don't even consider that as showboating. It's using your skill to advantage so that your team can gain advantage and maybe score or create opportunities, right? Showboating for me, it's when you do a skill standing one flag or a negative in a negative way, in an opposite. You are playing against your team, basically. That's how I say. When you do a certain skill, one, you don't eliminate any opponent. Two, you don't create any space for your teammates. You don't create anything for your team yet to create a scoring opportunity. So I can with Maswangane, I can say there's moments where for me he used the skill in a right way, and there's moments where I feel it was unnecessary and there was no need for that to happen. So I think the timing and of what you want to do and when and how, that is the key for me, and that's how I see our players should try and see those moments and why. Unfortunately, on the field, you ask yourself questions: why, when, how, at a split second, because you have opponents, you have obstacles there. So those questions need to be answered quickly so that you make the right decisions at the time.
That's a very good answer that I'd have to say, and I'm very learning a lot. You played at the highest level, you played at a World Cup, you played like top football for such a very long time. I wanted to know from your opinion, the type of skill that we see, that let's say, for example, a Masongane is doing, can that still transcend you into Europe? Can that still transcend you into the best leagues in the world? Would you advise for players to sort of like do that at times? What do you think?
What do you think? Whether do you
Ah,
think that's key?
I'm not the professional player. I'm not playing at the top level or anything like that. But I was just thinking because some people
Yeah,
are for it and some people are like sort of against. I just thought in terms of if let's say I had a dream to play in the Premier
yeah.
League and I had the dream to play for Arsenal and you're coaching youth at the moment, would you have advised for someone to, yes, express yourself or say, like you said before in a quote, you have to sacrifice certain things about your game?
Like I said before, with Maswangane is a bit tricky because he can be positive and he can have those nyana habits still they they are unnecessary at that time, right? I can't remember there's a game where is it before the end of the season or earlier now? But I think it's later in the season where he was on the right hand side, and then he shot Nyana the ball and then hit the style, and then teammates came, king opponents came, and then he played the combinations. Really hit the ball over the goalpost. I can't remember which
Mm.
game was it. So at that time for me is okay. He attracted people and then he then used the space that he wanted at the back with those quick combination 1-2 passes. So if you do that the whole day, for me, there's a chance because you become a different player. Or you become a player that they don't have that side. You become a player that knows the right moments, when to attract people, when to see the spaces, when to play 1-2. So you become that player. But for as long as you use that in a negative, you always do that one place and then you pass back. You do that going back. Definitely, you hope you will not get that opportunity because we know you hope they are direct, more direct. When you see Messi does the skills, he goes forward. When you see Neymar does the skills and whatever, he goes forward. When you see those players, the skillful players, it's more going forward. Are they losing the ball? Most definitely they do. Definitely. Using your skill going forward does not mean you will not lose the ball. But
Mm.
the intention of what you want to do is more important than just sharpening skill and then passing back and then you lose it and then it ends up goal against and then the team loses.
Ah, man, that's brilliant. I wanted to also ask you with regards to this, man. When I say Tempers One, what do you think about? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Shish, she's
Shisha.
blind.
He's a
She
quality player. Is he a quality player for you?
she's too blind. Uh,
Oh,
he's a top player.
now tell me something. Are you surprised that this guy's getting more minutes at Bafana Bafana and starting and not starting at Mamelodi Sundowns?
Yeah. It's obviously surprising, because obviously he spends a lot of time going Mamelodi Sundowns, and he spends whatever, how many days, 10 days, go Bafana Bafana. And I'm sure go Mamelodi Sundowns. Coaches know they have the reasons why they start him on the bench or he doesn't play other games. So they probably have reasons. The positive side of it is when he goes to go the national team, he's fresh to the game and influence the game.
Yeah, I mean, would you also say if Sundowns are to, so for example, Sundowns, we haven't seen them start within regards to the MTN8, is he going to be crucial in order for them to retain the league again? and compete for those honors again, should he be playing more minutes if, let's say, you were the coach?
Yeah, he's the most important player in a team, in any team that you have Mshishi. Mshishi will definitely be the most important player, or one of the important players rather. But obviously it depends on the coach's plan, on how they want to use him, also how to manage him. Uh, we always say age, at his age is old, da 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 da. Da. But for me, if you know an important player and you want to start him, I think you can start him, and then he influences the game. You win 2-1, 2-0, and then you take him out. Those are for me. That's how I can obviously manage him. Training sessions, maybe reduce the load here and there, go to training sessions, so that when we have a game, we get Mshishi off fresh. But does it mean he'll start every game? Definitely not. He will not, like any other player, Young, like any other player. He won't start all the games, but he's the most, or one of the important pieces in the team.
No, 100%. I totally hear that. And this is obviously the big topic here, because this is one that you were very influential in. This is one that we loved you so much in when you're wearing the black and gold, man. Tell me something before I get into Kaizer Chiefs. You were at a time when you're winning trophies, you were competitive and all that stuff. What did Chiefs have at the time that you were there, that you guys were so competitive and getting to finals and all that? What did you guys have at Kaizer Chiefs at that time that made you? Was it just players? Was it coaching? Was it the spirit? Or what would you say it is?
Sure. I think it was a combination of a whole lot of things. If you can remember, at that time, coach Chiefs, they were always about 8, 9, or 10, on that matter, experienced players. And then there was always like a continuity. There was always a player, like for example, when I got there was Tinashe, there was Thabo Moki, there was Gerald Sibeko, to name a few in my position. And those were top players at that time. And I had to learn from them. I had to compete with them up until I took over. When I took over, and then other players came up. So and at some point, nearly man. The generation nearly man, where you have a national team, FIFA week, people will go different directions to represent their countries. So it was older, experienced people that knew exactly what they are representing, what that they knew Hore, they wanted to be part of, to continue the legacy, or the culture of every season, bringing something at that big institution. So it was a combination of coaches, it was a combination of players, the management also, even the bosses that knew exactly, everyone was thinking the same, had the same goal.
Yeah, I mean, you when you left, unfortunately, I would have not let you go at the time that you did. But when you left at the time, and you were almost towards the start of the decade without the trophies, with regards to Steve Compella, you got to finals. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Did you ever imagine that this club would go over, what, 10 years without winning anything?
No, to be honest, no, no. Because this is the team that has always won something every year. Uh, I did not imagine a big team like Kaizer Chiefs going 9, 10 years without winning anything. So yeah, it is sad. It is sad, but we can only hope. Personally, I can only hope that things turn up, and then the fortunes change.
When you see the new coaching that's come in and the technical stuff and some of the changes that they've made, do you feel more positive about Chiefs this season?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know, and I wouldn't want to comment on the new technical team. I know for sure, they are top people. They are highly qualified. They've done well. Coach Kwazwang has done well, very well. Tanzania and Morocco. So you can see based on the results, Kwazwang he's a good coach. So for me let's wait and see what happens. But in the end, when Msheke, players are the ones that must do their part. In the
Yeah.
end, you can get a top coach, you can get a whatever you can get. At the end of the day, players are the ones that needs to change everything that is happening on the field. Who's playing? It's the players. The coach can do whatever that he does. The management, the marketing people can do whatever that they do.
Mm.
But in the end, there's one thing that should happen. Players must put an effort. Players must fight for what is right. Players must fight on the field. Players must be willing to give themselves to the team.
No, man, I actually like what you said there because I was about to jump and I thought, no, man, it's very key that you're saying something like this. You played at a top club for such a very long time, like Kaizer Chiefs, for example. You played for a national team and you had the fame and you dealt with it quite well. I mean, even now, you're humble as ever. Do players sometimes, when they jump to Sundowns or Pirates or Chiefs, where the hype is like it's big and all, do you think sometimes players get there and they're like, I can be comfortable and not necessarily have to take the responsibility to do a lot better at being at a club like that?
Yeah, I know for sure when you get to Chiefs, uh, you get a shock of your life because the space is different. You are now going to move differently. And this is me talking from experience, coming from Jomo Cosmos,
Mm.
how we used to do things for Cosmos, how things were done, and moving from there to Kaizer Chiefs. So it becomes a shock, definitely, and it happens to anyone. Like I promise you, anyone, even a player that comes from Sundowns, Pirates, going to Chiefs, it's a very different space. And how you handle that moment of shock, and it's a good shock. It's not a bad shock. It's a good shock. How you handle it, that also determines okay, do you stay there long or do you come in and then in and out on another.
No, man, I hear you. I hear you. And I'm really hoping that the players this time around do take responsibility. I've got two questions that are remaining left. Tell me, you've been coaching in the youth or helping out with the Gusto and the 20s. You've seen football as well from a DDC point of view with Amazulu. How's the future looking like for you? I mean, do you see it and be like, you know what, South Africa in 10 years, as is over right. Don't worry.
I can safely say that. I can safely say that, Msheke. We have talent in this country. Like I can confidently say that we have a group of talented young players from under 20 going down 2017, 15. So we are safe, right? In terms of talent, we are safe. But it also depends on how they handle themselves from there up until the last level, which is obviously the senior team, national team. So lucky enough, we have from the youth development youth structures, different teams. We have most of qualified people that knows how to take care of the talent that we have, that knows how to nurture, develop, and protect. So it goes back to now. It becomes, what do you do when as a player? Do you get carried away DDC fame? Do you get carried away because of you have a call-up national team under 17 or under 15, and now you think you have arrived? Or do I still stay hungry? Do I still stay humble? do I still want to learn more and then achieve more? So it all boils down to the players, because the talent, definitely we have. Qualified people to take over those talents, definitely we are getting there. So it will then say, Bona, do they want to achieve more? Do they want to get better now?
Oh, I love that, man. I love that. And the last question that I have for you, man, it's a simple answer, yes or no. 2026 World Cup, will Bafana be there?
Huh?
2026 World Cup, will Bafana be there?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so.
Oh man, I absolutely can't wait. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I really hope that at some point throughout the season we do this again. I would have really loved to have much longer time, but I just want to take this time to say this as a number Kosi fan. I've got huge respect for what you've done in the game, how you played it, the longevity, even the role that you played. It didn't get all the lights because you're not necessarily the striker that's scoring, but you're the guy in the engine room, man. And when I speak to you now, I'm like, wow, for the career you've had, you're so humble. So thank you for everything that you've done, man.
No, Mshaka, thanks for having me, and I apologize once more for joining in late. Yeah, like I said, I mixed up the appointments. I needed to drop my daughter go netball, so it has slipped my mind. So yeah.
No, man, don't you even worry about it. We'll do it again sometime again this season, eh?
Most definitely, I promise.
Placing the right bets on the right games. Win big with Shakes Rampedi on Bet of the Week. You know what, guys? I'm so tired of the international break. Like, I'm tired, man. You can't even predict these games. And I said I'm not putting them on my bet slip this week. I've gone with Premier League only. Wire. Brighton going up against Ipswich, game number 1. Brighton straight win and over 1.5. Liverpool going up against Nottingham Forest, over 2.5 goals. Man City going up against Brentford. And what I did was a handicap -1. So I'm giving Brentford a lead already. And I'm still thinking that City will score 2 or more goals and win the game. Aston Villa, the same way. I've given Everton the -1 handicap and Aston Villa will still win. Spurs against Arsenal. What did you say, Shakes? I said draw or Arsenal and over 1.5 goals. Just 5 games, guys, and the odds are 10.91. 150 rand tends to 1,800. I mean, you don't want to miss out, right? But don't forget, click on the link below. Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za. We've come to the end of the show, guys, but man, the Betway Premiership, it starts this weekend. My weekends are saved. Thank you. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.